Oh, right. We have another exploit for you here today that I actually put into action in a game. Let's check it out. In addition to having a new exploit, I also have a new build order for you today. Because Portuguese got updated, normally I would say you would do 26 pop and then castle drop. Well, nowadays, with Portuguese, you can easily pull off 25 pop. Interestingly enough, my opponent also picked Portuguese. Now, Portuguese has always been a very, very strong civ on closed maps such as Arena and Hideout, but now you can make it even more ridiculous by means of the exploit that I'm going to show you in this game, which allows you to phase your organ guns through enemy walls. I don't know why this is a thing now, but this is a thing now. I'm pretty sure this has come into play since the last patch, and enjoy while it's still here because I'm pretty sure the devs are going to patch this one out just because it's so absolutely ridiculous. Okay, before we get into the actual exploit, let me just talk a little bit about the build order here. So we have a total of 5 onto food, then we have about 6 or 7 that go onto berries. The 7th villager is actually going to grab that boar, bring it back, and then we're going to have 6 on food underneath our TC that are collecting from the high gathering food sources, whereas we have 6 remaining then on the berries, which will also, with Portuguese updated, now generate us wood, allowing us to place that lumber camp significantly later. And man, is it smooth to go 25 pop up and castle drop with Portuguese. Another thing that Portuguese have going for them in terms of creating organ guns is that organ guns only cost gold and wood. So it's a very easy switch to grab all of your stone villagers and just move them over onto gold, which is wonderful. And now just the additional villagers going onto berries or going onto any other food source until we have about 100 wood in the bank, at which point we are going to make a lumber camp and we are going to construct, no, just a lumber camp. And we're going to make 4 villagers onto wood. It's important to scout out your opponent for this build. The reason for that is that you want to know what wall to drop it on. I'm not 150% sure how it works, but I believe if you cannot see the wall when you drop the castle on it, you should be able to phase through it. So over here, if I drop the castle, I would be able to phase through this wall. If I dropped it over here, I'd be able to phase through this wall. Here, I'm also totally fine. However, if I dropped it over on the right side or on the east, I would not be able to phase through either of these wall segments. We did actually end up bringing the opponent's scout into our base. He's going to be very, very annoying, but I kind of felt like I was going to go for a faster castle age time than he did. And also he's microing his scouts so much that he's actually a villager behind. Very, very favorable. You always want to have your villagers producing, but who cares? We're absolutely murdering everything underneath our TC in terms of herdables. We had split 4 deer earlier on. Who cares? We have clicked up on 25 pop, 24 villagers. We move 4 onto gold. The reason that we go 4 onto gold is because we want to construct a villager when we go up, and we want to get loom. That way when our villagers walk over to the enemy's base, at least they will have loom. My enemy going up at 26 pop, and this is where the 25 pop becomes so important because you are able to be aggressive. Finally, he loses track of his scout, and we're able to shoot that down and bring our scout forward to make sure that our villagers are protected when we do go for that castle drop. I'm going to go with a market and blacksmith once those berries are cleared up. Moving them onto stone. We don't have the wood yet for a mining camp, but we will once we do. There is the market, there is the blacksmith, and we have more food than required. Yes, we had 4 deer, but even if we had 1 deer less, we would still have enough food by quite a large margin. We don't have any more food underneath our TC, so these guys are just going on to stragglers. Just make sure that we have the wood for that mining camp. And now everybody goes over to stone, except for the 4 villagers that we have on wood. And the villagers from gold move on to stone. And the best part is, once you have the 650 stone to drop a castle, you just move those villagers right back from stone onto gold. And this is where the action really begins. He's only feudal now, so I knew that it was quite safe for me to drop that castle in whatever spot that I so chose. I saw the market, I saw the blacksmith. I thought that he might go for a small wall segment over on this side, so I figured, why don't I drop the castle on this side, phase through over here, and then I can even still take that gold away from him. So that's what we opted for. It's going to take a second for us to reach Castle Age, but we're still about a minute faster, minute faster. Do. Everybody's going for Portuguese organ guns nowadays. You can see my opponent's also going for Portuguese organ guns as he has tons on stone, and I'm sure he wanted to be aggressive towards me, but no, he's going to have to be defensive as house. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Castle Age! And now he's in a predicament because we've dropped this up against the wall. He has to make a decision whether or not he's going to go for a defensive castle. Is he going to come out, delete his wall? Most people do not want to delete their own wall. So I think what he's going to opt for here is, once he reaches castle, going for a defensive castle himself. Now he has constructed an extra villager and loom before going up. So that's where that minute really comes into play, and we're going to be able to just hop right into his base. This is one of the more ridiculous exploits that I have found. My friend Slaz from Australia sent this one to me, so thank you, Slaz, if you are watching. Slaz actually does some streaming himself every once in a while, and I believe he even has some YouTube videos. I'll see if I can add those in the description. Check the link in the description for a whole bunch of cool stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe and kill all of the opponent's villagers that are constructing. Oof! Look at this. Absolutely insane. It took me 0 seconds to get through his walls, and there's already organ guns everywhere, losing villagers left and right. We actually have the villager advantage, even though we don't have enough on food to keep producing villagers. We basically just have a wood and gold economy so that we can make as many organ guns as we possibly can. We are 7-0. Most of those are in KD villager kills. He is going to get this castle up, which is fine, but at what cost? Yeah, he's going to get some of our organ guns at this point. So I put these guys on sand ground, and we're just going to chill underneath his castle. And now I'm thinking to myself, okay, so we jump through over here, but why don't we just do the exploit again? Move everybody from gold back onto stone. So we previously moved them onto gold so that we could create those organ guns. I want another castle now, and I'm going to drop it on the opposite side of this castle so that I can get in once more. All additional villagers that we did create from these free farms actually went onto wood, and since we're floating a little bit of wood, I decided to add some more farms to this. Ultimately, you would like to get to 6, but I knew that I was so far ahead because of the damage that I had just done underneath the castle that I felt comfortable not adding those farms in as quickly. And now we're fighting organ guns with organ guns underneath his forward. Things are things. I'm sure that made total sense to none of y'all, but this also makes no sense whatsoever, which is the castle exploit. And there we go again, but now on the opposite side. He sees the castle, obviously wants to deny it with his organ guns. We are now constructing organ guns to fight his organ guns off. We have our scout here as well because might as well keep constructing those castles quickly. We're honestly just buying time over here. I knew that we weren't going to be able to take his numbers down. But then again, he doesn't have really good range on our villagers, so this castle will eventually go up, maybe, probably, sort of, could have, would have, 15% from there. And these organ guns need to run away, but they're not fast enough. And now we get some extra free Kilios. Do we get this woman as well? No, yes we do. Very, very nice. So now we're producing organ guns from 2 castles. These are spawning into the enemy's base, and this castle, there's no point. We could spawn into the base over here, but we're just going to run into a castle. So I decided to target the wall to eventually bring this second wave of organ guns in as well. I'm trying to use this castle as much as I can as a defense. He's going for a monk defense at this point, but we have significantly more organ guns because we don't care about economy. Economy is for the weak. Actually, what really helped us early on, because we still have more villagers than my opponent, even though we're not continuously producing them, is that we were able to get so many kills that we were able to exploit our way through this wall and just kill 3 or 4 villagers while they were constructing that castle. Actually, more. It was like 7-0, right? So that means that we got 6 kills because we also killed the scout. 6 eco kills so early on. It's just absolutely detrimental. We will eventually get through this wall, and once we do, we're going to be in his base with 12, 13, 14 organ guns. Absolutely insane what you're now able to do on Arena with the new Portuguese berry bonus, with the new Portuguese castle exploit bonus. I'm just going to call it that. Does get a conversion. It's going to be a little bit annoying, but not too bad. We just have so many more numbers than my opponent does. Even though we're taking some shots here for free, it's not going to be too difficult to clean him up. And once we do, we have a nice path over here on which we can put pressure on his entire economy. This castle does not protect any of his resources. This is what I like to call a panic castle. My daughter has also just woken up, so I will be grabbing her shortly. Let's just speed this through so that we can give her proper care. Oh, little one, I'll just let you enjoy the carnage for a second. Oh, come here. Did you just wake up? Oh, you want to lay down, Papa? She does not want to wake up yet. Let's quickly look at the statistics and go from there. 35 to 13. Absolutely ridiculous. Um, Once again, sorry that I'm on poor audio quality here, and you guys get some extra audio quality right at the end from my daughter. But I hope you enjoy this exploit. I hope you try this for yourself. Don't let your means just be dreams, and keep on walking. Poopler out.